Morning, Tartans back with another video, and it's another sunglasses video, obviously as the title suggests, and where I'm sitting at the moment. It's not going to be a jacket review. I will get back to doing the barber jackets at some stage, I promise you that, I haven't forgotten. I know a lot of people are emailing me saying, where are the barbers? Where are the jackets? They'll come. I've just run out of jackets to review. I'm going to do a couple of others, but that's not the topic of today's conversation. As the title suggests, this is a Persol 714 video. It is my first pair of Persol 714s. I've had two pairs of Persol in the past. I found them in charity shops, but I didn't really know about them. I didn't really understand them. So I sold them on, and the first pair were very similar to the Quantum of Solace. The second pair were this almost like a black Clubmaster style, but it wasn't a Clubmaster. It was just a very thin acetate with metal frames. But I sold those. I wish I didn't. They were very nice. But anyway, moving on. So these are the 714s in Caffe, size 52-21, polarized lenses, of course. Differences, obviously, before we go any further, if you didn't know, the 714 came after the 649, made for tram drivers in Milan to stop dirt and grime getting on their faces. But to be fair, if I wore 649s in the 60s in Milan, I wouldn't mind driving a tram. They're cool. So they came about, and then these are a bit more of a compact version. So 714s. I've always wanted a pair of these, but never actually did anything about it. Because I am a very loyal Wayfarer guy. And these are quite similar in colour anyway. These will always be my number one. When I die, I want to be sorted out with a pair of these. So, but they're the kings. These are now my seconds. As I said on an Instagram story recently, these are a very close second because I'm absolutely smitten and obsessed with with these sunglasses. The styling, so 60s. Very timeless design. Nothing too fancy. They are purely just an acetate and metal frame with glass crystal lenses. There's nothing really special about the design. People call them aviators. I suppose that you can call them that, but I wouldn't put them in the aviator category, just purely for the fact they're not metal frames. Plus, this cutout here makes all the difference. I think that here is just the most amazing design. Simple. So it's got the Reflecto system here, which means you can bend outwards and conform to your face shape very, very comfortably. I would probably need to have the 54s, to be perfectly honest, but these do, which you can kind of see without being creepy looking. It has bending quite a bit, but I don't see it as an issue. I mean, Daniel Craig wears them and they look hilarious. But there we go, you can see. Really classic styling. Tortoiseshell with, I think they're grey lenses. I'm not sure. They could be green. They look green to me, but I know that Persol do grey lenses sometimes. And take them off again. You can see the sword design, which people call it the arrow, but I think if I remember correctly, and I've read online, it is naturally a sword based off of ancient Greece, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely a sword. You've got lovely hits of silver going along the temples, and this flash of silver on the bridge is what, sets it apart from the 649 to me. Seeing Stephen Queen wear his, and you're just seeing those two lines of silver, really, really cool. And again, it's on the other side too. On the inside, you can see here, it just says Persol, handmade in Italy, polarized. The little Persols here as well. Other side, 714, 108/58 Caffe, size 52-21, 143p. I'm not sure what the 143p is, but it could be a color code. You have a 5-point hinge system. all metal, no plastic moving parts. Incredibly well made acetate. I mean, to be honest with you, and you'll only hear me say this once, they are better made than Wayfarers. They are a better glass. They are. The Persols are made better than Ray-Bans. Everyone knows that. I just love this design more. Just suits me better. I just love these more. But, Persol video. So, flash of the polarization on the back, which I've always been obsessed with. I love that. One again. They're just classic. They're really cool. Really cool. Very, very comfortable. You can see the reflecto system go around my massive head perfectly. So the only con about this is what a lot of people say, but I think it's laziness, to be honest. Because of the moving parts, it does get loose. These aren't anymore because I've tightened them up. But the bridge can get loose. These can get a little bit sort of flappy. But as if hopefully you can see when you push in, you hear that click. It's a very satisfying movement and very satisfying joint. It's very solid. So I'll fold them in. These are the standard ones. The Steve McQueen's are like the original, where the temple folds in on itself, whereas these fold downwards. Put them in there, just step by step, and fold them at the bridge. Very compact, very satisfying actually to have a pair of folding sunglasses. These are my first pair of folding sunglasses. My only gripe though is I wish that these would be foldable as well, just so they could be really kind of very compact. But I suppose a nice little bit of advertising with the Persol here and here. That's them. They do come in a Persol case, but I don't have a case for these. I am looking for one of those smaller foldable cases. So if you have one, let me know. And to do it, fold it back. Very difficult to do with one hand. That's the only issue. Very difficult to do with one hand, but so some people, and I know Ben only carried his around like this, just so it's easier, but I am finding myself constantly just playing with the arms, folding them in. I think they're brilliant. Simple. But yeah, another look. They have a lot of coverage on the face. So my eyes, as well you can see, are here. So I have about half the lens of pure glass going down, which comes down to sort of where my nostril line is. So it's really good for day-to-day use. And I'll compare it to the Wayfarer just because I have it here. If I take these off, if I put my Wayfarers on, as much as you can, it's basically you have all of this extra lens coverage, I suppose. But then again, these were made for a purpose, whereas the Wayfarer were purely a lifestyle glass for reading, which is why you've got the panoscopic tilt going down, so no light can come in from above, coming down from below, sorry. Whereas the 649 and 714s, they have a lot more glass coverage, purely for the fact they were designed to keep a lot of stuff out of your face, like a goggle in the pilots, where they were originally used for. But yeah, here we go. That's the quick overview of my permanent 714s in Caffe. Size again is 52-21, so 52mm lens, 21mm bridge, which is a bit wider than a Wayfarer and an Aviator, so they do slide down a lot easier. Especially when I'm walking, I just have to keep pushing them up again, but small price to pay. That tortoiseshell, it is tortoiseshell, it's not Caffe, come on. It's tortoiseshell, it's absolutely beautiful. Here we are. Persol 714.